Hi, welcome to the test garden. Today I just wanted to touch base with people who are going to be on campus occasionally throughout the summer, or at least you intend to be on campus occasionally throughout the summer to check on your garden. Um, if you are only there occasionally, the recommendation is to grow something that doesn't need a lot of water. So if you want to put your gardens to bed, that's absolutely fine. If you want to keep them going, just to have something in the garden beds and then to be more successful once the students come back in the fall, then I have a couple recommendations. So we really want to keep the soil covered. What that does is just promote better soil health because you've got something growing in there, but it also is going to prevent weed seeds from coming in and getting into the soil. So, right, so really just crops that are covering the soil essentially. So one that we're experimenting with this year is alyssum or sweet alyssum. I bought one at a garden store and then just put seed in last week. And there's some that's starting to germinate. They're very, very tiny and the seeds are super tiny. But this is something that you can try out. Generally, the white version is better for all of your beneficial insects, but it really draws a ton of beneficial insects to your garden, including some pollinators and some parasitic wasps and things that really will kind of help things stay in balance. So go ahead and try that. That is a really mounding habit. So like right now it's rather small, but it's going to create like a nice mound. It'll even trail over the garden bed. And so that should look really nice. It does need, if it's not raining at all during a week, you should probably come out once and give it a good water. The other thing to recommend, which we have two beds here where we planted, but nothing is coming up yet. I really recommend like a bush bean that is like a shelling bean, right? So pintos, black beans, cannellini beans, even like an edamame, soybean, like those kind of things would be really great. They also grow, they're called bush beans, so a similar thing, right, where it's growing like a bushy habit. And the beans grow down from the leaves. So it kind of is going to grow like an umbrella with the beans hanging down in a small bed. Well, in general, you can probably plant them about 6 to 12 inches apart. You don't need a ton of them. And then they also, the bean pods need to dry out. So you can just leave them to dry out and you don't need to harvest over the summertime. Again, they don't need as much water as something like a cucumber or a tomato, but they do need some water. So I would say, right, if you're not getting at least a half an inch to an inch of rain in a week, then you want to come and give them some water. If you do have an irrigation system that you can put on a timer, that's really ideal for both of these so that they're at least getting a little bit of water throughout the summer. But if you just want to experiment, sometimes we have great summers with consistent rain and sometimes, or too much rain, and sometimes we don't. So you can always experiment and see what works in your site and what doesn't. That's what we're doing here. I have some beds where I'm going to irrigate them over the summer and then some beds where I'm not going to irrigate at all. And then we'll check back later in the summer and in the fall to kind of see how they did. So we can further recommend different things in the future. So I hope you try this out and let me know if you do. Thanks.